there, it's Leslie. And as I mentioned, I just got back from one of the most epic equestrian adventures I've ever had in France. Stay tuned because we are going to be doing an equestrian retreat May 2026, and dates and exact location coming your way very soon. So we talked about in our last little episode of balance, right? And really getting into good flexion of our ankle to lengthen out our calves. And it doesn't mean that we're driving those heels down hard. It just means that a supple calf is so vital for not just riding, but truly everything, that you don't have rigidity. This series is, we're still using this stability ball. And when we think of the importance of extension, especially if you're a Pilates person and you're doing swimming and you're in this big arch position, all that compression is going into the lumbar spine. So anytime we talk about strengthening our back, by being on a stability ball here, my legs or my hips are lower than my spine. So even by lifting up a little bit, I'm not in a position of being, for example, like you see this movement here. That is extremely hard on the low back, and especially if you're like me and you are more lordotic. And the more lordosis that you have, the more you really need to strengthen the front of the body, which I'll show you next, versus arching the back. However, by being here and placing the ball so that you almost feel like you're having to pull your front away from the ball to find a nice lengthening of your spine. Your gaze is a couple feet in front of you, but you're not arching up here. The minute I do this, it's like, oh, my low back does not like that. But by being in a neutral position, reaching the arms in front or reaching the arms behind, think of, if I'm here, I don't have any discomfort in my spine at all, and or here, and simply working from here to here so that I can start strengthening the muscles of the spine, the erector spinae, et cetera, et cetera. So once again, Pilates enthusiasts that like swimming, try doing it this way. So this actually would translate to water, because now I've actually got some movement in my thoracic spine and shoulders versus being down on a hard surface, which doesn't translate to function. So once again, this movement here is working into the back, lengthening through the spine, etc., and then coming back down. So my goal again is, how can we be more efficient in the way that we train when we're not in the saddle? So again, if I want to get rid of a little bit of my lordosis, I'm going to put my feet up against the wall. And from here, by just kissing my low back, my lumbar spine into the ball, and by looking up, and just by reaching my arms up a small amount here, I'm activating my core without overusing my hip flexors. So again, if you're doing a bunch of crunches and you wonder why you're so tight, I would recommend stop doing them. So another option here is, once again, to look up if you need to hold your head with one hand. But again, I'm not in a flex position, I'm extended here. And by adding that rotation is beneficial. We can sit back, pause for that moment, come up. You want to think that you're closing the rib cage and you're breathing, inhale, exhale, as you rotate through these motions and coming up. Do we need to do a ton of those? Absolutely not necessary. But just by working in opposite directions, from really looking at that superficial back line, superficial front line, and not a lot of flexion, not a lot of extension, because our goal ultimately is that really good neutral position when we ride, so that we are not only are we not compressing our body, but also our horse's body as well. This is Leslie. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Fitness for the Equestrian.